Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome to another video edition of my weekly newsletter, AI versus Marshy. And I thought I'd kick off this week by sharing Happy International Women's Day. I think there's a lot left to do on the equity, diversity and inclusion front. And I think I know a lot of women in my life that are doing spectacular work, and two that spring to mind today. This week, I had the privilege of talking at a fundraiser event for SANE on Wednesday, shared some of my personal story with mental health and lived experience and what that's like for someone who has complex mental health issues. And it's for SANE. And leading SANE is Lucy Meyer as chair of the board, and Rachel Green, the CEO, who's doing amazing work in the mental health space since 2021, leading SANE. And as someone who's been, working through these issues all my life, some of the work they're doing is providing some light at the end of the tunnel towards some really big, crazy societal problems. And if you're curious, encourage you to find out more. I'm happy to DM you more info. Really excited by the people leading that organization. Outstanding women to boot, and working on a tremendous cause. Cool. So now let's change gears to my usual newsletter shtick, which is where I recap what I write in my newsletter. It's released every Thursday and cover the news. And it's a bit of a different tack this week because I'm focusing, and have been for the week actually, on ADHD. A quick primer on ADHD if you don't know what it is. The acronyms, the abbreviations are quite misleading. Some of the traits that people with ADHD have: executive dysfunction, so unable to sort of prioritize what's important right now; time blindness, hyperfocus, you're easily distracted; more sensitive to sight, sound, smells, and anything sensory; need much more stimulation than a normie, and plenty more. And I think my shortcut for explaining it to someone is, think about all the bits of information that course through you and at you during the course of the day. Like, my boss wants this, client wants this, there's a social feed, I'm scrolling. What's for dinner? Oh, look, someone's got a puppy. Now, if you're neurotypical, that information comes to you and you categorize it in some form of importance. Like, okay, the boss needs this, dinner needs to be picked up on the way home. If you're ADHD, like myself, that just doesn't exist. That automatic sifting and category, it doesn't happen. Everything's interesting. So you just need to find a way to channel it. And the book ADHD 2.0 calls it a Ferrari brain with bicycle brakes. And of course I've got an AI generated image of that. Why not? But the newsletter I write is about AI, right? And so as this popularity has surged in language learning models and the potential of this tech, with this breakthrough, to be fair, we're still in our second year of since ChatGPT launched. And I did a bit of a quick audit of what tools are out there out of professional curiosity, because I'm an adult knowledge worker, working towards goals. I love the idea of some sort of ADHD co-pilot that could potentially help solve for that. But I want to see what's out there already. And obviously ChatGPT, an obvious one, I talk about enough. There's pros and cons to that. One I didn't know about was called Goblin Tools. And so Goblin Tools is a really simple tool that's got a magic to-do list. And, when someone, has a list of tasks, chunking down is the order of the day, right? Like, you need to be able to break the task down, do it in small chunks, particularly for longer tasks. And that wizardry is complete science fiction to someone. It's really hard. Say, I want to create an email newsletter, for example. Okay, that's what I want to do. What are the steps to break it down? Now, I've got an advantage because I've worked in marketing for a little amount of time now. But if you're new to this, it's really hard to chunk it down. And so the tool here, magic to do. So I want to start an email newsletter. And so we just click this button here. Okay, that's not really a goal. How do we chunk it down? And so I chunk it down here. And determine the purpose, decide on the target audience, Okay, well, how do I determine the purpose? I'm stuck here. I know, I'm not ticking enough. and it'll chunk it down even more. And so clearly define the objectives, goals, understand what your target audience, understand the intended outcomes. Well, how do I understand the intended outcomes? Well, you could actually, and got ladders back here because I am zooming in, but consider the goals, understand desired outcomes, value about how the goals can be integrated in the newsletter. And so you can quickly chunk things down in a way that works for someone whose brain is like mine. And the other thing you can do is, I imagine it's pretty vague just starting. You can get a time estimate here. And maybe I've broken it. Well, yeah. Oh, there you go. Wow, it took a while. It took a while to estimate because I'd broken it. But yeah, 183 days to start an email newsletter. I think it's counting everything. No, yeah. Well, yeah, this has been going for, I think, about 10 months, 10 months. And yeah, probably takes that long to get it really steaming. I like this one. Very good. So check it out. It's pretty cool and good to see a niche use case. And the creator of this is actually a very talented engineer that's building a private social network. So good on you. The other one I came across by looking for like ADHD Copilot stuff is mycopilot.ai. I love the concept, that it is on your phone and helps track tasks, goals, and also tracks, over time if you're spending too much time scrolling and the like, but not in a way that's just cut you off like a blocker, but in a polite nudge way, which I like that. It's available on Android only. I just couldn't. I actually hate the site though. Like I look at it, it's just, someone who Googled, used AI, create a marketing landing page. There's no person, it's tiring, it's soulless, you've got random art, loosely connected. Yeah, but I think the idea is good and kudos to the founder for building that. So another thing I'm doing is a 30-day challenge part of Starter Story, and by Pat Walls. It's a great little community and essentially working deeply for 2 hours per day. And so why not throw out investigating this ADHD sort of Copilot gold machine thing with this? And yeah, I've got ideas, man. So obviously I work on this newsletter. One I came across a while ago was Hume AI. What Hume AI does, if you can see from my demo, it's tracking the emotions on my face over time. And so conceptually, it wouldn't be hard to have this webcam on while I'm working and then tracking my boredom, say over the course of 8 hours. And then it could also track, if I'm drifting and scrolling and and remind me to have a break, remind me to have a snack, perhaps, toggle the desktop to gray to remind me. And there's all sorts of permutations you could do here. And so I've been interviewing many people, knowledge workers, ADHD, and I'm interviewing more today and next week. And I'll keep spinning this out over the next 30 days, basically to see where I land and whether there's enough promise or traction and I've got enough time to run with it. So that's an exciting thing there. If you are a subscriber to the newsletter, if not, you can enjoy this video, but if you want to subscribe, lukemarshall.net/newsletter. But I put an offer in for my subscribers. If you want, I'm more than happy to take on a challenge that needs to be a decent one that I can attack within 30 days for a problem you're trying to solve. So just throw it down, email me, get in touch, and I will use this brain and what I know out there and my capabilities to solve it for you free of charge. I just want to see what I can achieve within that time and whether this could be a fun little project as well, just throwing 30 days at things. Anyway, that's it. That's my newsletter. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you watched to this point, congratulations. Have a great weekend and hear from me next week. Thank you.